What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part, I want to say 21, 22, maybe 22 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Skulltaker Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, it has truly begun with Skulltaker having empowered the final level of the cloak that allows his army to fully heal post-battle, meaning he can do whatever he wants, and he doesn't need support, he doesn't need retrofits, he is good forever, essentially. I don't think that I can't really envision a scenario wherein he can actually lose now, because it's impossible, right? I mean, even if he faces off against 4 armies, as long as he wins, and it'll be very hard to bring Skulltaker himself down, his army will heal up. Oh. It'll make for some fun battles at the least. Plus, now we can freely auto-resolve stuff, which means a little bit more action for all the other armies as we get them going. Anyway, as I promised at the end of last episode, we will start by taking on Ironfist, who is a fantastic melee fighter and certainly a worthy skull for Skulltaker to collect. He's got plenty of Slayer pirates and some Doomseekers in there. In fact, the battle result says Pyrrhic victory due to the, I guess, the unit quality of what Ungrim's toting around. Let's see if they live up to the hype. Go.
I see you itching to kill. I will not hold you back. Go! Spill blood!
Alright, here we go. Nice to be fighting in the Empire, but possibly even nicer to be fighting the Dwarves, as generally speaking, Empire armies are awfully easy to fight against, especially when in the hands of the AI. Now, we are going to rush towards the enemy with our big old blob of bloodletters, as this army should have, Skulltaker's army should have. Obviously, we no longer have Karanak or his doggos in this army, so we can't really rely on them to deal with most of the enemy back line as we normally do, or at least to tie them up. Now, that said, with our exalted hero now leading the Blood Crushers, hopefully together they'll be able to handle the enemy backline, or at least annoy them sufficiently while the Bloodletters hack their way through the melee troops. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up a teensy bit while we get ready to move on, and Skulltaker trying to move through the enemy lines and avoid direct confrontation with the basic units while he moves towards Ungrim. Gonna stop him in his tracks and then charge on forth, though it looks like despite the only 14 melee defense, Ungrim does not suffer too much damage. What does he have? He has 40% ward save. Damn. No wonder we are hitting him for like 5% HP despite the 1.4k weapon strength. That's pretty crazy. Alright, well, that's going to be an interesting contest between the two, but in the meantime, our Bloodletters are moving on in. It's Bloodletters versus Slayers, two sort of frenzied infantry type units. They're relatively fragile frenzied infantry, I should say, though we have pretty decent armor on our Bloodletters now with all of the iron that we've been focusing, and more to come. The Doomseekers are fighting together with the Slayer pirates, and, well, the same thing is essentially repeating itself all across the battle lines. Looks like some regular Slayers have absolutely melted away under the charge of the Blood Crushers, and Skulltaker continues fighting Ungrim. Alright, gonna take a little bit of a while. We also do have our 2 regular units of Bloodletters that are still in this army. They were supposed to be replaced by either Skull Cannons or by Blood Crushers, but we need to actually get those for that to happen. The rest of the enemy melee line is definitely being hacked apart. While it takes a little bit longer to work our way through the Doomseekers, the Slayer Pirates are a little bit more fragile, and thus we're looking okay. Out here, it looks like Skulltaker's lost about 10% of his HP, and Ungrim about maybe 20% of his, and I do believe Skulltaker was also focusing down the, there was another hero here, a Thane or something, a Runesmith maybe, but yeah, there it is. But the Runesmith ran away from the fight, so what can you do? All good, it was Ungrim that he wanted to fight anyway. Alright, ooh, I love those chains on those Doomseekers, though. The chained weapons, they're really fun. And I love the sound of them as well. Maybe I should have brought some Skull Reapers and Wrathmongers. And ooh, looks like Skulltaker takes a big hit from Ungrim, dropping down to about 60% of his HP, closing in on 50, and having reached his heal. I guess that 40% ward save is really working for Ungrim. But once again, we need the other items on Skulltaker right now. We don't have any ward save on him at all, so it does make sense. Our fast movers charge on in once again, hitting the Quarrelers who are firing away for this entire time, simply because we don't have the numbers of range units, or the numbers of doggos that we once had. The rest of Ungrim's army, with of course the exception of Ungrim and the Slayers who will fight to the death, have broken, and it looks like Skulltaker has suffered severe damage and gotten Ungrim only down to about 50% of his HP. Ungrim has always been a monster though, so this is hardly surprising. And we're gonna have to back Skulltaker off, lest he die. I think he actually took a little bit more HP here than I remember, but what all good. All good, and I guess we're just going to have to mob Ungrim with piles of bloodletters. He's still got half his HP to him. 1.2k weapon strength. His weapon strength is actually significantly lower than Skulltaker's, especially when Skulltaker activates his buffs. It's that ward save. I think it won't be any problem once we give Skulltaker a talisman plus the armor, but I'm still banking on that 2% special trait acquisition via the Helm of Dreiska. There's also the possibility of seeing whether putting Skulltaker on foot would make a difference against a sort of enemy footlord like this. It's just that he wouldn't have been able to catch up to him. That's the problem. And then if the lines had closed and Skulltaker didn't get to Ungrim, then Ungrim would have been stuck in the melee somewhere, and then Skulltaker would have been as well. Anyway, speaking of Ungrim, let's see what we got here. He is at, well, still about 30% HP, still whacking away. Solid bits of damage and solid numbers of kills. I think he actually has a little bit less kills and damage than he did when I fought this. There appears to be a tiny desync, and hence the disparity in health values. At least a little bit. I also don't remember the Runesmith running away, because Skulltaker focused the Runesmith first when I fought it, and killed the Runesmith, and then went after Ungrim, taking damage from Ungrim the entire time. But in the replay, the Runesmith ran away and left Skulltaker there, so not a huge deal. Ungrim completely surrounded by bloodletters. A pretty heroic end for him, though, I gotta say, and a heck of a doom for the Slayer King. There is just no end to the bloodletters, unfortunately for him, and at last one of them brings him down. That death blow will banish a couple more demons as the Slayer King falls. And, well, maybe we'll leave that skull on him and collect it once we get a nice little rematch between him and Skulltaker. No! What the heck, one of the Slayers is still alive? Oh, it's probably because of the desync. The units weren't focusing this guy because he doesn't exist, but he does seem to have waded into the fight, and it's taking a long time to bring this one little Slayer down. Huh. I wonder if he's invincible. It might be... Huh. Let's see here. Does he have 1 HP? Okay, there we go. But I don't think he actually died. He might have been stuck on 1 HP with the death blow and just not dying. He's an invincible Slayer, eh? Nice. Damn, Ungrim is an absolute monster. He was able to kill off 64 bloodletters and dish out 17k damage and fight Skulltaker to a standstill. And yeah, damn, very, very impressive, my friend. Granted, we are lacking in a lot of ward save right now on Skulltaker. Obviously, we're holding on to the Helm of Dreiska in the hopes of acquiring that trait, but until we do, we have to live without the additional ward save, which does hurt, and the ward save might be better in terms of effective HP than double the healing, so there is that. But anyway, I'd love a rematch, and in fact, I also think that Skulltaker, maybe we'll try him. I mean, we're so late in the game that we don't have to worry about it anymore, so and we can maybe try him on foot for a little while. And might be that the mount is having a little bit of a tough time attacking him as well, or attacking with the mount, you know what I mean. Anyway, We will, I mean, once again, it doesn't really matter whether we skulls or we whatever, so let's just skull it up, just to raise everything around here. And we're at full HP anyway, so once again, that doesn't really matter. Ooh, but we can't reach Castle Drakenhof in one go, can we? Hey, Cormagdal is this guy? Yeah, he's got his war shrine, that's lovely. Though I'm sure it would have taken plenty of damage in this particular battle. Slayer, King Slayer, melee attack, spell resistance, and missile resistance. Lovely defeat trait. Though clearly we could use a little bit more melee defense, so if we can find... Then we can find Nakai or maybe Kroggar for Saurus Smiter, get that plus 20 melee defense between the two, and that would probably help out nicely. Anyway, Skulltaker, you're gonna move on towards Castle Drakenhof, which we should probably just occupy in order to get the gold, though at this point in the campaign it also doesn't really matter over much. Wolf for Kelstad. I wanted you to pick up a... or not pick up, I wanted you to put your special location or your special cult somewhere. I guess we'll put it in Altdorf. Anyway, we'll see. Unless there's another thing to do. Crimson Beast, you're next. Let's see if we can find a lord. Can you reach Fuchao? Doesn't look like it. If we could find a lord for somebody to defeat, then Skulltaker can move again. Let's move you up to Fuchao as well. Actually, if these guys attack us, because we saw that Lokir Felhard was out here, if they attack us together, you'll come in as a reinforcement, which probably ain't so great, but what can you do? You have everything you need unless I'm mistaken. You have Blood Beast maxed out, you have, let's see, Overwhelming Stampede, and yeah, I think you have everything you need, which means Blood Beasts are here. Yeah, alright, we'll go for Brutal Charge into Kill and Slaughter, and then into Foe Seeker, etc. I just want to level these guys up to make sure that they have everything they can have, because obviously it's a new army, relatively new army, and it does need a little bit of help. Alright, let's do that, and then you, I guess, Blade Master into Hard to Hit as well. Everybody gets Hard to Hit, more melee defense. Alright, next up, Slaughter Host. We've got you guys. Alright, can we chase this guy down? I've been trying to auto-resolve this guy for ages. Can he cross the river or no? He cannot, alright, which means he's dead, which means Skulltaker can move again. Beautiful. Alright, auto-resolve this. And it doesn't really matter what you do. I guess you can... does the healing actually work on these guys? Seems to. Oh, wait, no, but that's the post-battle healing. That's a different type of healing. It does... Healing does work, but it's a different type of healing. I don't know if that post-battle heal does. Ally mission successful. Ooh, yes. Yes, good. We needed that. We needed that for you, Skinnerath. You are going to now... We still can't get Medusa, I assume? No, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the one unit I wanted from that roster, and we can't get it. Fourth Lamasu will not quite complete the army, but we're waiting for our Bloodthirsters as well. Gonna get there. Slaughterhouse, Doom Reavers, etc. All of you guys. Bone Legion. You can lead the way to the Caverns of Sotek, which is the new capital of Tzeentch. Though probably not for too long, especially because we can auto-resolve it. I assume that nobody else can reach it, but we'll see in a second. And you... Wait, is this their last territory? No, they have two, meaning... Huh, where's their other one? Wait, Temple Avenue of Gold, is it? No, it's owned by the Last Defenders. Where is its Tzeentchian location? Huh, they couldn't be holding a territory up here, could they? Go up here. Let's try to find them. There's some Tzeentch corruption that was from Uatek. I don't think they're up here. Could they be holding Orion's camp? No. I didn't miss a. Could they have confederated somebody? Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. I just want to disable the Tzeentchian shenanigans as fast as possible. Damn those Tzeentchian shenanigans. Anyway, Raging Masters, you can move up this way as well. Maybe a few too many blood hosts up in this sort of corner, but all good. Alright, and I guess we'll just have you auto-resolve this. This isn't Tzeentchian, is it? No, okay, we saw that was the Temple Avenue of Gold, which we did want. Huh. Is it here? Sotek's Trail? No, not that either. Well, either way. Occupy. And yeah, we're fine in terms of skulls, etc. And you can just delete the war arena. Yeah. All right. Who's up next? Wait, Skulltaker, you're up next. I should have known that. And oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was not enough to reach either thing. Huh. Wait, has Oakenhammer been sacked recently? What if we could bounce to Oakenhammer, sack it or raise it, and that'll give us enough if we get another kill or not. Depending on if we get another kill or not. We do have teleportation available as well, so we could jump to one of these guys and do it that way, but I wanted to save it, especially to go up here, or depending on where we want to go, so we'll wait. Skulltaker. Go as close to Oakenhammer as you can, I guess. Like so.
I've lived centuries.
Because we'll want to occupy Castle Drakenhof anyway, so, yeah. Alright, next, what do we have? Who can move? Who can potentially give us a Lord kill? You guys? Yeah, you guys. Alright, who do we have at Angariel? Basically nobody. Crimson Beasts, the other Crimson Beasts, or the other Crimson Beasts. There's a lot of them around. And I'll move you in. And we'll just occupy Angariel in a second. You guys can reinforce. Kuchar, the Blood Hunter's army is now ready. I assume he can't reach this. Just to double check. He'll move up. Oh, wait, there is another lord that we can defeat. Yeah, okay, you can't go here. Just ignore it. Go here. And we can send him to Bretonnia or maybe to fight the Wood Elves or whatever. Doom Feasters, you can move in here as well. And Skull Harvesters. And it should be an auto-resolve. I assume all of these guys are going to suffer severe damage, but, well, I don't think we care that much. After Nightbane's sticking around building those skull cannons, maybe we don't need the skull cannons in Skulltaker's army after all. Just keep them here, whatever. Pav, you were expecting to get attacked by Eltharion the Grim. Hopefully we can send Kuchar there. Crimson Harvesters are going to attack Luen, which will allow Skulltaker to move again. So, first of all, you. Kill this. Not really any damage. Occupy. Lovely, and Eataine is now secured. And you can switch to Mortal as well. And then we can go for Monuments of Rage again. I guess the construction reduction doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Another Featherfoe, Torque, and Eataine destroyed. And lovely to see. Alright, who's up next? It should be Skulltaker up next. Alright, you're gonna go here, you're gonna hit up Oakenhammer. And you are going to auto-resolve it and raise it. Actually, Blood for the Blood God, raising the Blood Host up in here, and you can reach Castle Drakenhof. Beautiful. Alright, then you are going to move to Castle Drakenhof. This level of defenders is not worth fighting. Ooh, lots of dwarfs running around. Medium casualties, but hardly irrelevant. And it'll be a bug battle, so it probably doesn't matter. Although, I mean, on the one hand, wait, let me just see here. Does it have it? Yeah, greatly increases the health of settlement walls, towers, and gatehouses, which is what gives us the bugged battles. I was kind of tempted to send these guys up the walls, but at the same time, let's face it, the Graveguards stand no chance against this, so let's just auto-resolve. It's all good, and then we'll occupy, because it'll give us gold. And wow, that actually made our money positive. Damn, I haven't seen that. Khorne Totem, we have the Trophy Chamber. We'll get rid of the Growing Rage, as odd as that may sound. Oh, we probably have the predicted income because Skulltaker's army is basically free when he hasn't Growing Rage there. Although, maybe keep that. I have an idea. Keep that. We can put a garrison army here and just leave Castle Drakenhof by itself with just tons of ruins around. I guess they'll probably occupy themselves, but I don't want to deal with their admin. And it will replace the Blooddrench Herd Stones with the... oh, actually, wait. We can use this to build an army rather than auto-resolve, or rather than... You know what I mean. Global recruitment, that's the one. Anyway, you're gonna move to Zufbar next. So go here, we'll use Luen to allow you to move again, and we'll send these guys up into the mountains, because Skulltaker won't move further. We'll also want to occupy Zufbar for the iron that's here. Full of nice things. There's more gold out here as well. There's Mount Gunbed, there is Karakungor, there should be another one, unless I'm mistaken, somewhere here. Is it Black Crag or somewhere near Black Crag? There's also double iron down here as well. Not that we need it, just every time I see the shinies, you know? Lizard Brain and all that. Velnir Dull, you're up next, buddy. You cannot reach King Adaya, and you probably can't reach King Pentu either. I would love to send these guys up the walls as well. We don't really care that much about Plane of Spiders. You know what? Go here. We will send the Wrathful Feasters in march stance to the Plane of Spiders. We'll put you in march stance here. Or march stance. Wait, actually, no. Or yes. Or no. If they don't know that you're here, they won't go up on the walls. And I kind of wanted to send you up the walls. This doesn't increase the power of the walls, so that'll be a non-bug siege battle. Yeah, you know, and go into regular stance, and I'm just going to hope that... I think actually he's trying to run away, but we'll see. And just sit there. And we'll see. Alright, well, what's up next? The Terror Masters. You guys are supposed to sail out, not so that the Dash Stand can reach you, but potentially so that Ben Floater can reach you. Red Harvesters, you're gonna grab Venom Glade, and Skullhounds, you're gonna grab Black Forest, so resolve, and occupy. Nice. And you'll be mortal, and we'll grab the furs. Ooh, these Shakara. Huh. Isn't Shakara also the leader of Clarkarand? Huh. Interesting. I mean, elves. It's all elves. Anyway, Skullhounds. I mean, Karand, not Clarkarand. Anyway, Black Forests. Yes. I don't know if this guy would sally out of here and try to reinforce the Black Forests if we besiege this. It is a possibility. Although I guess if that happened... Yeah, it would happen between the turns. Wait, you know what? Break the siege. If it happens between the turns, we can't use this to get Skulltaker moving again. And I'd really like to do that. So just stay slightly away. Right here. And it doesn't really matter what stance you're in. Oh, you're gonna suffer attrition because of the... Oh, well, whatever. I mean, I guess you could ignore the attrition and go to Hotek's column and protect it because we still need that iron. We'll move together with the Red Harvesters and see if we can't get Ben Floater to fight us. Next up, should still be at least one fight out there, hopefully. Arbol. All right, the Luen fight. Arbol, you are going to attack the Maggot host under Tamarkan. He's got 5 territories, including the plains of Zanbaijin, and I'd like Arbol to do some fighting. Gallows Tree is obviously not worth our time. Plains of Zanbaijin, maybe. We'll just occupy it. And we'll keep that wood. Lovely. And more trophy racks. And hey, Egrim Heldenmouth is right there, so Plains of Zanbaijin will be well defended if nothing else. Ugh. All this Nurglite stuff, it'll be nice and corny soon enough. Next up, we have the Bone Reapers, who... Alright, you two. Where do we send you? I mean, I guess we could loop them around towards our coastline, towards Bretonia. I mean, Kuchar is going to lead the charge against the Knights, but you guys can move in to reinforce. Alright. Well, looks good to me. Next up we have... What do we have in Cloak of Skulls? So, I guess we want to move up towards Pirate Lord Penko in order to get that next 800. Probably the best way to do it. And we can increase the melee defense of... Oh, actually, we already have the level 1 of this. So actually, we can't increase... Well, right. Yeah, we already have the basic version of this. Yeah, alright. So it's not critical. At least not right now. Next up, Hex's Slaughter Call, the new army, the Beast Army. You are moving to the Sacred Pools in the hopes of attacking it next turn. I assume these guys won't sally out, because I think they can't leave the Sacred Pools. Though I'm not 100% sure. But you'll hit them next turn. You're still recruiting for Skyla and Fingrim, and we're gonna have to wait on that. Crimson Harvesters, you are about to fight Luen. Because you're just at the edge of his range, as I recall, and Pav, you're waiting for Eltharion. Okay, grab a couple of Chaos Warriors. Alright, and I think that's all we can do. Cultist, I think you were supposed to... We could build a cult at Brass Keep. I was gonna say you are going to pop a cult in Altdorf. We could... Huh. Because I'm willing to bet that your super cult is one that we want to keep rather than destroy. But I guess you'll be close enough to Altdorf if we want to go there anyway. Nah, you know, I'll just stay here. Alright, and that's good. So Crimson Harvesters, time for Crimson Harvest. Hit Luen. Assuming that you are, in fact, at range. Hopefully they're not secretly just out of it. They are not. Valiant Defeat. What do we got? He's rebuilt his Pegasus Knights. Okay, that means we have to be careful with the Bloodthirster. They can surround and kill it. He's got 1 unit of Grail Knights and 1 unit of Questing Knights, and of course Luen himself. Should be a fun fight. Go.
Slay for Khorne. Butcher for Skull.
Alrighty, here we go. By the looks of it, a pretty tough fight is in store for us with the Luen, some Grail Knights, some solid units against this Blood Host. We'll see if we can manage to pull this one off. And hey, I hear you guys like the, enjoy the more difficult fights anyway. And so does Khorne. After all, he does love a hopeless fight. So, yeah, anyway. Down the hill go the Chaos Spawn first into the fray. Looks like the enemy Pegasus Knights will actually move away from our massive pile of air force, or our big air force, whatever, from our massive pile of Furies. Combine two things at once, and will instead go for the Flesh Hounds. Of course, a charge from Pegasus Knights into Flesh Hounds completely decimates those Flesh Hounds in a single charge in a couple of seconds of engagement, and the Flesh Hounds begin to melt away. The Furies have arrived, however, and the Bloodthirster has as well. It's time to surround and obliterate those units of Pegasus Knights. In the meantime, there's a lot of places to look, because it's a good fight. Now, let's see what's going on elsewhere in the fight. Out here, our Blood Crushers and a unit of Flesh Hounds have caught an enemy unit of Reiksguard, which has been summoned, outpost unit, together with Luen here. Kind of appreciate the fact that it was a cavalry unit that he built. But anyway, we got peasants against the bloodletters happening all over the place as well. The Soul Grinder is trying to help out here and fight a Luen, or at least it was, but will now be heading down towards the questing knights that are currently charging the bloodletters. The other bloodletters fighting with those Chaos Spawn on the front lines, and our Herald, as well as another unit of Exalted Bloodletters, are eyeing those Grail Knights in the hopes of hunting them down. Out here, we have the Flesh Hounds chasing down those Wardens of Montfort and Yeoman Archers, and they should be destroyed rather soon. Anyway, the Bloodthirster and the Furies. The Pegasus Knights may have managed to catch those Flesh Hounds, and by the looks of it have dropped many a Fury from the sky, but it looks like they're dropping in droves themselves, and will be surrounded and obliterated. There we go. Can't deal with that many Furies, unfortunately. Our Bloodthirster will move away and head towards the enemy Grail Relique. And, ooh, battle's actually... A lot of our Bloodletters are having a very bad time on the front lines here. The Battle Pilgrims and Foot Squires are decimating them, by the looks of it. The Grail Knights we're now giving chase to with our Herald and our Exalted Bloodletters, and as soon as these Wardens of Montfort are done, we'll use the Flesh Hounds to move in and help. Alright, does look like any unit of the Grail Knights that charges through and becomes isolated from his companions will get mobbed and ripped apart by the Bloodletters. They still do have plenty of armor-piercing damage and magical damage on them, after all. Herald will continue leading and hopefully will catch those Grail Knights. Out here, regular units of peasants are being torn apart, and with a little bit of help from the Furies, that should speed matters up, but the Battle Pilgrims and the Foot Squires are doing quite well. This unit of Bloodletters is pretty much destroyed, and the Spawn of Khorne are, by the looks of it, following suit as well. Trying our best to mob the units. Another unit of Exalted Bloodletters is just about done. But it looks like on the flanks the enemy cavalry has pretty much failed. The Soul Grinder has waded into the fray as well to help against those Battle Pilgrims and Foot Squires, and the balance of power is now about 70% in our favor. Luen is still in the fight. The Grail Knights not so much, as they drop down to about 20% of their HP and drop night by night against the onslaught of demons. And by the looks of it, they attempt to run, but the Flesh Hounds have moved in to reinforce. The enemy Mage will cast an Ruinous Thunderbolt into the middle of our Bloodletters, but we're used to that, as she's been casting that pretty much throughout the entire battle. I also did attempt to send both the Bloodthirster and some Chaos Furies after the Mage, but she could just run around and ignore them more or less, so it didn't work out. On the bright side, though, while that may not have worked out, the battle itself very much did, as at last the Peasants break, the Grail Knights break, and Luen and his pet Mage will book it on out of there. There we go. Very, very close. Look at the damage on all these units. That's not even counting the units that got destroyed. Great charge from those Pegasus Knights. Solid work in melee from the enemy Peasants. Reasonably impressive. And I think Luen probably should have tried to go after our Herald of Khorne a little bit more. Or maybe one of our single entities. I mean, we did distract him with a Soul Grinder there for a little while, but anyway. One spawn with 12 HP survived, just barely. Huh. Does one spawn? I think monstrous infantry are made now so that if one monstrous infantry survived, the entire unit survives. So I think that unit remains alive, but we're about to find out. Ah, beautiful. A really fun fight. About half of our army was destroyed, Pyrrhic victory, and 2 of the units will not be reforged. Of course, once again, it's a blood host, but it was a really fun fight. Close call there. The Pegasus Knights and the Grail Knights were obviously monsters, and it took quite a lot of unit commitment to bring them down, and the Foot Squires fought surprisingly well. Look at those kill counts. While they didn't quite trade with the Exalted Bloodletters, they were able to overrun a couple of units, beat the spawn of Khorne, etc, 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 and that mage, that frickin' Damsel of Heavens, was really annoying, and of course it had to be a Damsel of Heavens when we had so many flying units in this particular army. Well done, Luen, I appreciate the fight. We will, I guess, heal up, doesn't really matter over much. Fights like that make me surprised that the interest in this campaign is starting to wane. I just feel like this campaign still has so much more left to give. But anyway, defeated Luen. Obviously, the trade doesn't really matter on the individual blood host units. Skulltaker, you're gonna hit Finn Have-Hand, and I guess we have to occupy this because it's iron. There's growth up here should we want it. There's a lot of good stuff in these mountains. But we don't necessarily need to use Skulltaker to take it, although I suppose the issues... Ooh, this is a nice army as well. At Karak-Kadrin, eh? I don't want to waste the teleport. Wait, can we even... We can't even teleport right now. I guess it has to be the first thing you do per turn. Anyway, Pyrrhic victory doesn't matter. Auto-resolve and occupy for the iron. Lovely. Juggernaut for Chant. Ooh, yes, good. Chant is currently... Wait, Chant. I thought it was... You're not Chant, but you do have a Juggernaut. Alright. Our Exalted hero in this army is leading the Blood Crushers because, well, Skyla can't do it anymore because he's not here. Skulltaker. You can still move slightly, but you can't teleport. Unfortunately. I'm still not entirely sure exactly how that thing works, and sometimes, oh, maybe you can't teleport once you've recovered movement range? I have no idea. You can't reach Grand Peak, and I assume that was the last fight of this particular turn, in the sense that we probably can't reach anybody else. Just to double check, though. Fator Morspig is fine, Cultist is fine, yeah, that was it. Let's double check on any building, although I don't imagine that there is much, if any, of it. Mount Lee. Li Zhu, oh, we're probably not keeping the place. I mean, just in case we do, we'll upgrade it, but we're not looking to hold any territory in Cathay, really, maybe just screw around. I mean, I guess there are some mountain territories down here. Any iron around? Any iron or gold? More iron means better units. Hey, Itza's nearly ready for it's a landmark, been a long time getting there. Anyway, Cloak of Skulls won't do anything with you right now. Unassigned skill points, cult upgrade available. We are saving this to teleport Skulltaker. I mean, I guess if we wanted to, we could pop it off right now and go through Athaloran without using the teleport. Again, that, well, saving the teleport means not having to rely on cults, which is a good thing. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like the idea. Let's go for instantly teleports your faction leader to the settlement. We'll start with the Waterfall Palace, and we'll see what else there is to find out there. We will have to build an army at Castle Drakenhof, so let's... open dies. We could use Chant, because he's level 16. He gains additional experience, which means he'll become a Demon Prince sooner. Or we could do another one of these guys as a Generalist Lord. I don't like any of their traits. I mean, Leadership Aura is fine, but additional defensive traits are better for these guys. On the other hand, the Speed, the Strider, all that sort of stuff is nice. Hey, you know what? Let us do this. Wait, I have an idea. We can build Khorne Gores in this place, right? Since the Beastmen army hasn't had a chance to do a lot of stuff, what we could potentially do is... Yes, we can. All right. What we could potentially do is build a second Beastmen army. And I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. Hear me out. The idea is basically to allow them to well, you know, get more beastman action going. And we all like some good beastman action, don't we? Slaanesh, you giggle. Khorne Gores will be the start of this. Alright, and we can't build any heroes here, which is kind of a problem, but whatever. Alright, well, looks like we're good to go now. Skip Assign Commandment Monuments of Rage, and Assign Commandment Monuments of Rage, and Assign Commandment Monuments of Rage. Huh. We didn't have the Godless Crater. I guess one of these things is new. Anyway, go.
Approach Khorne's champion.
Looks like Eltharion will indeed attack Pav here, who we don't really care about. Do we want to bother with this, or do we just let Kuhar hunt him down? We haven't really invested in Tori Vres, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I don't really care. Oh, he's not even gonna occupy it? Okay. You'd think it's Tori Vres after all. Hey, they're gonna go after Valnir Dal. Oh, man. I'd love to fight this right now, guys. I really, really would, but I think we're out of time. And, well, once again, we've returned to the sort of standard shorter episode, so we'll save this big old fight for the start of next episode. We got Ushabti with great bows, Screaming Skull catapults, 5 of these guys, and the Casket of Souls. Looks like it'll be a great fight for Valnir Dal's frenzied infantry host. Yeah, save it for next time, so we'll start off the next episode with that. Stay tuned for more Skulltaker. Don't forget to leave those likes in the comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.